Communication competency is an ever-changing art form. For most, the ability to communicate is generated from social interactions and experiences over the course of their lives. These interactions are important and can teach the communicators things about themselves as well as the people around them. Throughout this course, I've learned multiple strategies to better myself as a communicator. Communication competency can be enhanced by developing listening skills, managing speech anxiety, and building strong interpersonal relationships. So the first point I would like to make today is the importance of listening. Listening is different than hearing in that when you listen to something, you gain information from it. One of the craziest things about listening is the sheer amount of time we spend listening. In our book, Communication, Making Connections, it was reported that college students spend over half of their interactions listening. This is incredible news considering all the talking and the interactions that they have throughout the day, and over half of the time is spent listening. On top of this, social media provides news sources for millions of users to gain more information every day. Listening also helps competency. Poor listening is the greatest cause of misunderstandings in relationships. We can also use listening to gather information, whether it's from news outlets, people around us, teachers, peers, whatever. The next point I would like to make today talks more about delivering speeches rather than taking them in. It is important to control speech anxiety. Taylor Lawrence, in her 2018 article, found that public speaking was important in school and workplace areas. For schools, it helped kids understand their material and gain confidence in the classroom. In work, it allowed people to elevate their status in the workplace setting. There are many ways to manage speech anxiety. Just like sports, the book compares the preparation of speech anxiety to athletics. Giving speeches about timing, preparation, and confidence. On top of this, meditation and systematic desensitization can be used to limit the amount of stress you put on your body when giving a speech. The last point I would like to make today is the importance of relationships. Relationships improve people's lives. Ann Gatterman, a kids' health and well-being expert, found in her 2016 article that kids with better relationships reported a better quality of life. They also found it easier to find their self-concept. So things like strong relationships in the family and in the classroom gave them a better understanding of who they were as people. Relationships also teach very valuable skills. Comfort and empathy are two of the main skills taught by relationships. So take example for your first boyfriend or your first girlfriend. You learn how to comfort that person. You learn how to empathize with them. I'm sure that your first relationship probably wasn't the most successful and you learned a lot from it. The same thing is true with like family gatherings and like school interactions. You learn a lot from those first relationships and you really better yourself as a person. You can also learn how to benefit from conflict. So an example of this would be if you had a fight with your mom and instead of burying that conflict and never letting it out or never telling her your stance or viewpoints, when you have conflict, sometimes you can pull your true meaning out of it and try to kind of understand each other better, if that makes sense. Now, to conclude, during my time in this course, I have learned what it means to be a competent communicator. In my personal life, I've even begun to implement some of the techniques taught in our readings. By becoming a better listener, learning to manage speech anxiety, and strengthening my personal relationships, I've increased my communication competency and grown a new appreciation for my everyday interactions. It is important to remember these strategies and always be willing to learn and evolve as communicators. As we grow, our experiences will further develop our understanding on the matter. After all, communication competency is an ever-changing art form. Thank you.